All right, what's going on, everyone? It's LP, writer and creator of the comic books NYOBI and Savage Sin, coming at you with more bite-sized news, giving you more to chew on. And chew on this. Console prices. We talked about this. Xbox raising their prices by $100, games going up to $80. Well, what if I was to tell you that analysts warn of devastating impact of looming tariffs on console prices? In other words, maybe that Xbox is going to be even more expensive. Maybe those games might get more expensive. Maybe that Nintendo Switch 2 you're waiting on is going to be a little bit more pricier than you thought. Want to know what I'm talking about? Let's get right into it, man. All right, here we go. GameRant.com, one of my favorite sites. Great farming site for gaming news, by the way. Let's scroll through it. A newly shared report suggests that Trump administration tariffs could raise the prices of a Switch 2 and other video game consoles by nearly 70%. And while that figure reflects a worst-case scenario, worst-case Ontario, it reflects, it paints a potentially alarming picture for the U.S. console market ahead of the Switch 2's launch. We do have Donald Trump here. Donald, what do you got to say?
Well, look, I never really been a big fan of video gaming, and if these nerds want to play in my yard, they gotta pay.
All right, that's from the Donald. Since the start of his second term in the Oval Office, Donald Trump has used tariffs as his primary tool for driving the economy policy changes. These efforts escalated on April 2nd, declared Liberation Day by the White House, when broad tariffs were imposed on goods from nearly every country. However, it was only a week later that the U.S. administration announced a 90-day pause on these tariffs, except those placed on China, while new trade deals were being negotiated.
Well, I just wanted to bring people to the bargaining table, sit down with the Donald, let me strong arm them so I can get my way like a big baby, and China told me to go F myself. So now, God damn it, we're in a trade war where comics and video games are going to cost you a lot more money.
The looming tariffs threaten to significantly impact video game console prices in the U.S., according to a new report from the CTA, Consumer Technology Association. Even though the Trump administration previously exempted certain electronics from its tariffs, consoles weren't on that list.
No, fuck these video game people. Look, I want my iPhone, that's okay, but goddammit, I don't need a PlayStation 5.
Consoles were on the list and thus still face tariffs up to 145%. Could you imagine? Like, your console might be like a fucking $1,200 machine, man. As a result, should the extra tolls be re-implemented following the end of their 90-day pause in mid-July 2025, video game console prices in the country could rise by up to 69.4%, CTA analysts estimate.
God damn it, that's not high enough. We need more. God damn it, I want it to be 145% more.
Of course you do. So again, the 70% price increase is the worst case Ontario for U.S. video game consoles. The report characterizes the nearly 70% price hike as the worst case, applicable only in the event that the tariffs return in full force and are passed on to consumers for their entirety. In this Ontario, stateside consumers would have to pay $12 billion more for the video game consoles, assuming unchanged spending trends. Naturally, since the demand for home entertainment is elastic. Is that what they're saying there? Such an increase would likely crater consumer spending, decreasing console sales by about 73%. Since the currently paused tariffs were announced, Microsoft raised the prices of its Xbox consoles by up to $100. Nintendo, meanwhile, delayed Switch 2 pre-orders by 2 weeks and ultimately stuck with its originally announced $450 launch figure, but raised accessory prices by up to 25%. Now, let's just stop there for a second. People were bitching about $450 Nintendo Switch 2s, because they're supposed to be like the smaller, less powerful console. You know, the Nintendo Switch 2 was something that you didn't have enough for a PlayStation 5. Maybe you can get a Switch. That's not so much the case anymore. In fact, if 450 was too high, imagine what the tariffs are going to do. Just imagine what the tariffs are going to do. The Trump administration's tariff freeze is officially set to expire on July 9th. Vietnam, the country where many gaming consoles are manufactured and assembled, partially or in their entirety, will be facing tariffs up to 46% following that date. Man, what do you think, Donald?
Well, they're gonna pay. They're all gonna pay. Whether it's 46%, 70%, or 145%, I'm gonna get my money because I'm Donald Trump.
Yes, indeed, you are the Donald. So that's what's going on. Just everything is raising in price. You know, I'm not sure who thought this tariff idea was a good idea, but it's certainly not helping the American people by making them pay more just to have a little bit of entertainment in their life. Now, if you want something entertaining, and that's a little cheaper, that doesn't going to have tariffs, you can come to my eBay store or my newly found Redbubble store. And here is my sponsor to tell you all about it. And just who is today's sponsor? It wouldn't be right if I didn't do the line, right? It was me, Austin. It was me all along. And today's sponsor is my Redbubble store. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. People have asked me before in the past and most recently about t-shirts, good, hoodies, posters, backpacks, desk mats, mugs, you name it, we got it. Phone cases. You guys want NYOBI merch? It's available. You guys want to wear a NYOBI t-shirt? It's available. I had people say, why don't we see this stuff on Kickstarter? Wow. Because quite honestly, to make this stuff is expensive, right? We've done t-shirts on our Kickstarters before, and while they sold, we didn't make any money. We kind of just broke even on them. So I figured the easiest way for people to get NYOBI merch, and maybe this will change down the road, but for now, this is the sort of the quick fix, is that you can come to our Redbubble store. The link will be in the description of the video and in the comments section, where you can come and peruse. And trust me, I'm just getting started on this. We were doing Teespring, but they're far too limiting. The fact that Redbubble does allow mature content on here, as long as you mark it so, makes my life so much easier. Where Teespring took down half of our products, everything here on Redbubble seems to be just fine. And we got, like I said, t-shirts, phone cases, magnets, stickers, buttons, you name it. And all you have to do is click on one of these designs, and you can see what's going on here. We got Paul Green t-shirts, art boards, art prints, stickers. Man, you name it, we got it. You want to see all 39 products? How about the NYOBI desktop mat? Look at this, man. This looks great. You know what I mean? And you can get one. I mean, I might have to get one myself. Eventually, the goal is to get one of every product. That's probably never going to happen, because guess what? God damn it, we got a lot of products, you know? How about the wall flag is really sweet, guys. I have one of these for Savage Sin. These are amazing, and you can get them so much bigger. Look at that. Look at that. That is fucking gorgeous. It's about $100, but that's Canadian, so it's probably about $70 US, but it's a nice high-grade material. It looks sharp on the wall. Guys, it's Redbubble. It's NYOBI merch. Come get yours today.